we're going to go back to LA on this one, and we'll start there, right? So, as we all know about Karen Bass and her mismanagement of LA, let alone shit, mismanagement of California by Governor Gavin Newsom, but it's a different story. This one's focused on what recently happened this week, as this week, as you know, along with the congressional speech that he was doing, the joint House speech, if you want to call it, with Trump. There was also a appeal hearing for the LAFD ex-fire chief, Kristen Crowley, as she appealed her firing. Because it was all very, very obvious that Karen Bass used her as a scapegoat for the fire that happened and all that. And it is common sense to appeal that firing, especially when you can't blame her. And it was also, when you really look at it, it was just politically driven, because, you know, she, in a sense, threw her mayor under the bus, but it was either she takes the blame for the mishap that's happened, right, with no water, no fire engines. Supposedly she sent 1,000 firefighters home, all that stuff, right? And, you know, she didn't communicate with the mayor and all this other stuff. So none of it made sense in a way where she's to blame for anything, right? So Karen Bass fired her, saying, you know, she did all these things, right? So the appeal was heard. So let's see what happens here.
All right, our other big story here today, the LA City Council upholding Mayor Karen Bass's decision to fire Kristen Crowley from her position as LA City's fire chief. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Michael Brownlee.
And I'm Colleen Williams. For nearly 11 minutes, the former LA fire chief defended her actions during the Palisades fire and then refuted some of the information about the timeline of events leading up to the fire. We have live team coverage on the reaction to that vote today and what perhaps happens next. We begin right now with NBC4's Alex Rozier, who was inside LA City Hall during the appeal hearing. Alex.
And Michael and Colleen, this really happened so fast. Kristen Crowley spoke, 4 council members shared their thoughts, and then it went to a vote. Kristen Crowley's appeal was rejected, and we spoke with her moments after she learned she wasn't going to return as LAFD's fire chief.
And I appreciate the love and support from my fellow firefighters.
I would transfer out. I would get out of there.
Community. We're going to continue to advocate to get the LAFD where we need to go.
Before the vote, Crowley disputed some of the mayor's reasons for firing her. She said she didn't refuse to conduct an after-action report. She said she just didn't think LAFD should do it. She wanted an outside group with more resources to lead that investigation. She also disputed that she failed to notify the mayor's office about the weather and that she sent home 1,000 firefighters that could have helped battle the Palisades fire.
As for the 1,000 firefighters who allegedly were sent home prior to the fires, we did not have enough apparatus to put them on. Because of the budget cuts and lack of investments in our fleet maintenance, over 100 of our...
Yeah, we'll just let them stand around, right? They'll be there, but they'll just stand around amongst all the other firefighters that had no water anyway, so they're just all standing around and watch the fire, because you can't stop it if it's blazing, right?
Our fire engines, fire trucks, and ambulances sat broken down in our maintenance yards. I urge you to vote to reinstate me as the fire chief. But no matter how the vote goes, the LAFD, your LAFD, deserves to be properly funded, staffed, and resourced so that we can meet the ever-growing needs of the community.
Before the council voted, 4 council members shared their thoughts. Tim McCosker and Imelda Padilla spoke of why they were rejecting Crowley's appeal. The only 2 council members supporting her reinstatement were Monica Rodriguez and Tracy Park. They both said that they just didn't have all the facts, all the information they needed to make this decision. And Tracy Park spoke out specifically to her constituents, the people of the Palisades.
You deserve answers and accountability And that might very well mean firing everyone who has culpability across multiple departments. And I have no problem with that.
Like the Department of Water, you know, the head of that, right, for not having water in the reservoir. Yeah, multiple departments, yeah, start with that one.
But I wouldn't do it without a well-informed record and actual evidence to support that decision, and I don't have it today.
I believe it's important to let the truth prevail, and you shouldn't disparage or suggest that someone refused to do their job
That was obvious
when I've got
scapegoating.
more than 25 years of examples of how this person has shown up to do it. So, colleagues, I ask that we honor the appeal of Kristen Crowley and reinstate her as fire chief for the Los Angeles Fire Department.
My disappointment with this situation is that the chief chose the wrong time and the wrong place to raise an issue. Spending time talking to the press to tell her side of the story, which I think is important, versus at the command center during the fires, raises major concerns.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
About what proper timing should be. And it is because of that that I hope that we recognize that this is a mayor doing what is within her jurisdiction.
Sometimes we need to risk our jobs to do our jobs. And I think our role here is to make sure that we can move forward. And with a very heavy heart, I'm going to support the power of the mayor. We owe it to people that this government can be functional off into the future. And I think the way to make our government functional is to avoid a circumstance where we have an executive officer and the head of a department that can't work together.
Great.
Yeah, so you get rid of the mayor.
The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI
It's easy.
marketing tools to help small
So if mayor's fault, you
businesses
gotta get rid of the mayor.
And it is important to note that the 4 council members you just heard from are the only 4 of 15 to speak during this discussion. Again, Kristen Crowley's appeal was rejected. The mayor's office put out a very brief statement saying in part that this is an issue of public safety and for the operations of the Los Angeles Fire Department, the city of Los Angeles is moving forward. Reporting live, I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4 News.
All right, Alex, thank you. Ahead of the vote, Crowley had a large showing of support inside and outside of the city council meeting. Members of the LA Fire Department stood there in solidarity, greeting Crowley during her arrival. They were also in the crowd during that meeting. You can see them there in the white T-shirts. Many also spoke during public comment.
The men and women of our great fire department supports Chief Crowley because she stood up, she spoke out, and she had our backs.
As my colleagues have said, the reasons given for Chief Crowley's dismissal are false and flat out wrong.
The LAFD sent NBC4 a statement saying it is grateful for Chief Crowley's leadership, and interim Fire Chief Ronnie Villanueva will continue to lead the department.
All right, we want to go now to our Robert Kovacic. He has known the former chief for years. Robert is live outside LA City Hall with what comes next for her at this point. Robert?
Well, what comes next, Colleen, you got to laugh a little bit, is because that is what we have been asking those inside LAFD administration, and they said, please, just let the dust settle right now. We have just been through the appeal process. This has really been tumultuous for everyone involved within the LAFD. Now, the LAFD is divided into 4 bureaus. You have Central, you have South, you have West, and you have Valley. As of right now, as of today, as of this hour, former Chief Kristen Crowley is now Assistant Chief Kristen Crowley, Operations Valley Bureau. She has been assigned to a vacant position. She's not replacing anyone. She has been assigned to a vacant position in the Valley. Now, when you look at Kristen Crowley leaving today, she stepped out of here, as you have heard, losing her appeal. and trying to be reinstated to this job. Now, when we have looked at the situation here, it is just a matter of not only Kristen Crowley, but it is also the fact that she went in there today and talked largely, as you see from video, of an interview that she gave to NBC4, the first one-on-one interview that she gave to us 3 days after the Palisades fire. And she told me to come to her office knowing that she was under pressure and said, listen, ask me anything. And we did just that. Kristen Crowley said the city of Los Angeles failed the Pacific Palisades. She reiterated that her department is under-resourced, it's underfunded, it's understaffed. She went on to say that she did have men and women ready to fight the Palisades fire, but she pointed to video, as you're looking at right now, of fire trucks and ambulances that could not be deployed because the budget cuts did not allow for mechanics to be employed to fix that apparatus. And of course, Colleen and Michael, you have to just consider who this really affects here. It's outside of City Hall. It really is outside of the horseshoe of City Hall where these decisions were made. It has to do with the people of the Pacific Palisades who were impacted. And we have spoken to them throughout this process. We just spoke with Diane Elder. She is the publisher of the only magazine dedicated to Pacific Palisades residents. And she says their focus is elsewhere. But yes, they are angry, but blame does not really solve any problems right now.
Fuck that, man. Some stupid shit right there. Alright, enough of that shit. So now that led to this that started now. Let's go to this.
What exciting benefits do you get as a Hertz Gold Plus Rewards member?
So one thing led to another.
Right to your car. There is a movement underway to recall Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass over her handling of the Palisades fire. The LA Times is reporting paperwork was filed yesterday with the city's Ethics Commission. The filing now allows those who are involved to raise money to place a recall on the ballot. Now, to trigger a recall election, opponents would need to collect approximately 330,000 signatures, or 15% of the city's registered voters, within the next 4 months. The mayor is being criticized for not being in the city during the fire. Bass says she was not told about the severity of fire weather conditions before she left for a diplomatic mission to Ghana. One of the reasons she cited for firing LAFD Chief Kristen Crowley. As we've reported, the mayor's staff was briefed by the National Weather Service prior to her trip. A political strategist for Bass says the recall is nothing more than an extreme right-wing stunt designed to divide the city when we need to move forward.
Yeah, everything's about we want to move forward, we want to move forward. Yeah, but still not take responsibility and you blame someone else, man. So yeah, don't bust me with some bullshit like that, all right? You know, so yeah, hopefully, and I don't see why they can't get 330,000 signatures to put on a ballot for her recall, because she clearly mismanaged LA's wildfire. And it's easy, man. They could start with the Palisades, right? They could start with the Palisades area and then just kind of work their way around all over the place, all over the county and or city, and I guess county. And boom, there it is, just like that. You'll see how they could just go ahead and get those signatures and put her on the ballot so they could just kick her out. All right, because she's full of shit. She lies. She's I don't know if she's corrupt. Maybe she is. But yeah, enough is enough. All right, we got to get her booted. All right, because she's not doing a service to nobody. Look at this. They have a graffiti downtown abandoned development in LA. All right, they have Skid Row. Right, all these homeless all over LA. Skid Row, that's what they call the one major area of downtown. All just full of homeless, right? I've driven through there a few times too. So, amongst the mismanagement of the wildfire, how about the mismanagement of the city itself? While she takes her trips to Ghana and all that, all right? So we need people that that can run and manage the city better. Not only on top of that, the sanctuary city, so she funds illegals. I mean, the list goes on and on. How Karen Bass is garbage and just straight up an idiot. All right. So that went on. So they upheld the firing of the fire chief. And if I was there, I'd just be out of there, man. I don't know. I go to San Diego County somewhere. I'd just be out. I'm not going to deal with the bullshit, the bureaucracy. Now, supposedly, I'm demoted and I'm going to be looked at differently because I'm a fired fire chief, right? Working in LA still. Nah, I would be out of there. I'd be if I exhausted my appeals, obviously the council will back Karen Bass. It's not fair. They're just going to back her regardless. And I mean, the other day I played a video of one of the council guys, and you could tell already. I was already calling it out about how he was asked if she could appeal the process, with the process. And he said, yeah, she has the right to appeal and all this other stuff. And I already saw it in the way he was talking and his action that he was going to back Karen Bass anyways. It didn't matter. All right, so that was a no-brainer. You could just tell, even though Karen Bass is incompetent, you could just tell. All right, so you have that, and I mean, amongst other things, right? I mean, so let me see here. Oh, not here. Let me see here. Is it here? Yeah, we talked about the recall. There was something else I saw. All right, pretty funny stuff. Let me see here if I can find it. Gotta find it. Here we go. So, here's what happened. Let's take a look at ABC News here. So, you have this idiot right here. Let me see if I see him. You have this idiot right here. I covered it yesterday. Al Green, who, waving his little stick, right, acting like he's some big shot, and all he is a piece of shit, garbage, and just trash. And all he's just doing is just, oh, you're going to cut Medicaid, you're going to cut Social Security, and you don't even know the facts, you dumb fuck. So you're sitting there waving your little staff, and, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here, man. Every time I heard, I was like, get the fuck out. So that's what happened there. Now, let me see if I can find quick little footage there. Yeah, he interrupted the speech and he gets kicked out. Yeah, let's take a look at this here. Why not? Let's take a look. He speaks out after being escorted. And he's going to speak out some nonsense, all right? So let me see here. Waving his little stick. Fuck you, man. So that's when he spoke out. I'm trying to look for that footage there when he was waving his little stick and gets kicked out. How about this one? Let's go to this.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Yeah, waving a little stick. Fuck you, dude. Get the fuck out of here.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Pointing at Al Green, too.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Fuck out of here, man.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Yeah. If I was the House Speaker, I'd be like, hey, man, get him the fuck out. That's what I would say if I was the House Speaker here.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
Put your little stick down, man. Fuck you.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
It's not like they took you away right away. They gave you a chance. Shut the fuck up, man. Just get out of there, man. Shut the fuck up, you little Kane. Fuck you, dude. Shut the fuck up. Just go, man. That's what I'd be telling you. Fuck you, dude. Go. Get out of there, man. Fucking trash.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
So this is what happened. Oh. So
most people are too lazy to do this.
Let's see. This is what happened here after he got kicked out.
Play you for those ultras? Well, we're kind of high level.
So let's see what was said here.
Hi, Congressman. What were you shouting to the president, sir? Sir, what were you shouting to the president?
The president said he had a mandate. And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
Which he's not doing.
I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we've got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people. It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
So do you have no mandate? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Which he's not doing, man.
Is that what you told him?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Yeah, and he's not.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment.
All right,
This
cool.
is
You just said it.
about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better. And now we are.
Yeah, let's see what the problem is. We don't have good health care because we have Obamacare that was started by you guys, the Democrats, that really, pays for people that can't pay for it. So that kind of cuts into the care in itself, the cost and everything. Then you also have illegals that are coming in on top of that are given it to, are given to them. And so that dilutes it even more. And so the system itself sucks, especially with Obamacare. That really kicked off how costs have gone up and care has gone down. All right, and then it makes all of us pay for it, for shitty care in the end. And it can be fixable if you start with not giving to illegals and getting rid of Obamacare.
About to cut Medicaid, which is for poor people. Health care has become wealth care for many people, and we can't afford to let that happen.
They made it happen. Health care became wealth care. You know why? Because you guys made it happen. All right, as you divide amongst elites versus us common class people, right? And then of course you have the poor people, but there's a big divide between Democrats versus us regular people.
The only thing that you're protesting?
No, I have other things I'm protesting, and I'm also working on my articles of impeachment. This president is unfit. He should not hold the office. 34 felony convictions, 2 times impeached.
Sir, tell me one more time what you were saying.
And then
that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid.
That's what you were saying over and over. Thank you, sir.
Yes. No mandate. Thank you.
And he's not. He has no mandate to cut Medicaid. So fuck out of here, man. And yeah, trash. All right. So this led to let's see here. What happened today? What happened today? Look at the stupid asses waving little signs. Where is it at? There it is. Oh, here we go. So this led to this, all right. I already put it out. Here we go.
On this vote, the yeas are 200.
So this happened today.
124. The nays are 198, with 2 answering present. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The House will come to order. The House will come to order. Shh. Will Representative Green present himself to the well? By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
Bunch of dumb fucks.
The House had come to order. The House had come to order. What's that?
Dealing with a bunch of imbeciles, man. These idiots.
The House had come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to continue its business.
So this is what happened live, all right? So let's listen to this here.
Let's
jump
go ahead
over
and
here.
show the count now on the censure vote in the House. It's happening right now, real-time vote. A couple things to look at. The yeas are 213 Republican, Democrats, 9 Democrats voting with Republicans to get you to 222. We thought the magic number was 217, depending on how many people were present, and at the moment, we believe the censure will succeed. Aisha Hazi's watching that from the Hill as well. Aisha?
Yeah, we have somebody inside the chamber right now trying to figure out who those 9 Democrats are. That's a big one because we were told earlier that the Democratic whip, Catherine Clark, did not advise her members on how to vote today. So we are seeing some yays and some present votes as well. Interestingly enough, Congressman Green himself voted present yesterday when they tried to delay this resolution, to try to table the resolution. So we'll see how he voted today. But we are waiting now for Speaker Johnson, who is presiding over this vote, to gavel this vote for passage. And then what will happen next, what you'll see, is that he will call Congressman Green to the well. Oh, there we go. Let's listen in.
2 answering present. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The House will come to order. The House will come to order. Shh. Will Representative Green present himself to the well?
So like 10 Democrats voted. cross the line. Or cross the aisle, whatever you want to say.
By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
These clowns, man. Now they want to sing religiously now, right? When they're anti-religion.
The House had come to order. The House had come to order.
Sounds like religious singing to me.
What's it?
You want to let him keep doing this, or totally clear?
The House had come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to continue its business.
Oh, you guys get the fuck out of here, man. Him and his little staff here. Get the fuck out.
Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the House will stand in recess subject to the call of the chair.
They should all be censored for being idiots. Censured.
Got it. Okay, guys, here we go now.
For being idiots.
So,
Is Aisha still with us?
yeah, that passes. Aisha, you're still with us. I was looking at Jamal Bowman about 2 years ago. He was the last member of Congress who was censured. And he was the one who pulled the fire alarm. Go ahead.
I just want to jump in really quickly
Yeah,
because
Jamal Bowman's
supposed to
an
happen.
idiot too.
So what's happening right now is we're trying to get order in the chamber because what you're supposed to see next is Speaker Johnson admonish Congressman Green, and that hasn't happened yet. And what Democrats are doing right now is they're disrupting the chamber.
They're stalling
and
it.
They're singing and they're surrounding him in the well, which they're not supposed to do. So I believe Speaker Johnson is trying to get a hold of this. Let's listen in now because I think this is happening now where he's admonishing
bring in the
him.
Capitol Police and just round them out. Hold them all in contempt.
No, it looks like the
Censure
House
all
is
of
in
them.
recess now. So we're going to try to figure out what just happened there, if they can, if they're going to come back and try to do this. But the censure resolution did pass. They were able to censure him. And yes, you were talking about Jamal Bowman. This is now the fourth Democrat in probably the last 2 years here. I'm going to see this. Congressman Scalise, what just happened in there? Were you able to admonish? Were you able to admonish him? Okay, so that was Steve Scalise, and he said that they have censured him, and so it looks like that is it, and they might be done for the day. But fourth Democrat now in the last 2 years to be censured by House Republicans.
So, Aisha, you are, by the rules, required to stand in the well of the House and be issued your condemnation.
Right.
Did that happen, or did we miss it?
I didn't see that happen. I didn't hear that happen.
They had to go to recess because of this bullshit.
Singing and sort of like creating a disruption around Congressman Green.
Bunch of
so
idiots.
We'll try to find out from one of our producers who was in the chamber. But an interesting note, Bill, here is that at least 9 Democrats voted along with Republicans here.
It hit
to
10.
censure Congressman
You saw the
Green.
numbers,
There were
hit 10.
a few others that voted present as well. So that's an interesting takeaway, too. Obviously, there were plenty of some Democrats that felt that what he did just wasn't right.
No.
Aisha, so there's a lot of reporting with Democrats not going on the record, but talking to reporters like you saying they were mortified about what happened on Tuesday. They felt they had no direction from their leadership, which would be Hakeem Jeffries. They're frustrated. They're embarrassed. They're worried. And at some point, do you think any of them will be willing to go on the record? Because to me, I don't see how they get out of the wilderness until they have somebody willing to say enough.
Well, I would imagine the Democratic leadership was not too happy with what happened Tuesday night. I mean, they were hoping that there wouldn't be any outbursts. I mean, they were advising people, obviously, attend if you want. We'd like everybody to be there. We'd like to show unity in the Democratic conference.
And wave the little signs.
And attend. Several people, obviously, we saw leave in the middle of the president's speech, but I don't believe
leave. They were on their little cell phones, just being rude.
What happens is that nobody talks about their messaging anymore. Everybody just starts talking about Congressman Green and all the showiness of what Democrats were doing, and it is embarrassing. There were plenty of members before this joint address that we're
Look at
saying
that,
they were
waving your little
hoping
staff around.
that there
Fuck
wouldn't
you,
be any
dude.
outbursts, that there
When I
wouldn't
see
be
that
any,
shit, I feel like I just
showmanship,
want to slap the shit out of
and
them.
that, you know, obviously they would protest in their own way silently, whether it was by holding up those, you know, paddles in protest. But there were plenty of Democrats that did not want to
stupid
see
asses.
what
Look at
happened
that.
go down.
Morons.
But none of the Democratic leaders in there, Hakeem Jeffries, Catherine Clark, Pete Aguilar, they just sat there quietly. They were about 10 feet away from the guy.
Look at them
and they didn't
idiots
do anything
holding
to
them
get him
stupid
to
signs.
Nobody was really defending him. So, okay, thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Aisha.
Aisha.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, so you got censored. Right? Yeah, so fascinating stuff here. All right, and this is fascinating. Look at this.
I can't get hard,
Trump.
not even with the blue pills.
Ooh.
Will the salt trick work for me? All right,
Talking
pay
about getting
attention.
hard all of a sudden. All right, look at that. Trump expected to sign order to close Department of Education. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We'll talk about that another day. I think that would be good, you know. So great to see that a little bit of common sense here, that they vote to censure Al Green. I guess they still have to, you know, give him the admonishment or whatever they were talking about to that, because they surrounded him like a bunch of clowns that they are to, you know, whatever, to distract, to slow down the process. And that's just what they do, because they're just a bunch of clowns, and proving that they can't be, you know, they can't have any etiquette, you know, is what it is. Being rude to the president, all right, in that congressional speech the other day. And so, deservingly, right? And 10 Democrats went across the aisle to vote to censor Al Green, and good to see. And then, of course, we talked about the Crowley, Karen Bass. Karen Bass is now going in the direction of getting, what do you call it, recall. They just got to get, you know, 300,000-ish signatures to put her on the ballot, which I don't see how it's going to be that hard at all. I think they'll be able to do it. And we go from there. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Other than that, yeah, it's just Democrats are trash, you know, straight up. And they're proving it. I've shown it to you guys. I'm not just trashing them just to trash them. They've proven to be idiots, clowns, and just straight trash. All right, so with that, all right, subscribe, YouTube, Rumble. Thank you, and I'll see you next one.